Hello, Stitchy friends. How's everybody doing? I hope you are all doing really well and having a good week. Today is Friday, June 19th, and I had the day off work today for Juneteenth and just decided that it'd be a great day to film the Stitch with me. So typically I film these on Saturday, but I'm getting this one done a little bit early. And yeah, I did some work this morning. I was just ready to sit down and stitch, and I thought, why not bring you along with me? So I hope you grab it. Oh, my name is Andrew. My dog Winston is here at my feet, sort of taking a nap as well. But yeah, I hope you enjoy this little stitch with me. Grab a project to work on while we stitch together. I'm going to be stitching on my mystery piece, which I will be revealing over the next several decades of what this is entailing. But yeah, I'm just gonna start stitching. So again, there will be moments of silence, and hopefully during those moments you will hear sort of the sound of the thread moving through the fabric, and I'll also just be sort of chatting a little bit. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this, and let's get started. We are in a very confetti heavy section because we're sort of in this place where we're finishing up her face, and that is a very confetti heavy area. Oops, I think I got one needle stuck in there. There we go. And we're also finishing up her hair, which is also very confetti heavy. And I think here in a little bit we'll be finishing up her mouth. So yeah, there's just kind of a lot of things happening here. Hopefully once we get through this little section and down into maybe more of the yellow or even some of the red of her gloves there, we will have a little less confetti. But we'll just work through it and see how far we can get while we stitch together. The good thing is a lot of these colors that I'm using for her face, because we're getting to the end of it, they are finishing up. So I'm able to just kind of do it one or a couple stitches and then end it off, which is nice. So yeah, I hope you're all doing well. I hope you had a really good week. My week was really good. The week went pretty fast. Had a good week at work, and then I found out I didn't even realize that we had today off for Juneteenth, because not every company has the day off for this holiday. But so I didn't even know that we had it until Thursday when my boss told me, hey, we're not open tomorrow. And I was like, oh, okay. So I think they're going to get me a list of the holidays that we're closed for. But that was kind of a nice surprise. And kind of along with that, even on Thursday, I got to leave work a little early. So I left at around 3:30 on Thursday afternoon. It was kind of slow. And, my boss said, I checked in with the other bookkeeper, and she said it was slow, and she was working from home that day. So yeah, I got to leave a little early, which was really nice. A lot of people in the office they had a big parade for the Knicks basketball team who just won the championship. So I think a lot of people in the office were going to that, which was funny. I didn't have really any interest in going, but it was fun to just see everybody kind of celebrating that, and yeah, I thought that was cool. So kind of had a little bit of an early day on Thursday and then off today. And so I kind of decided, you know what, I should take advantage of this and get some things done on a Friday that I don't normally have time to do. So I actually did my longer run this morning and felt good. I actually did 14 miles today. Really wasn't planning on going that far or doing that long of a run, but I just kind of was, in the mood for it. And felt really good, so I figured why not. Just gonna go for a run. So I did a little bit along the west side highway path, which I don't get to run that often anymore since I'm in a new location. But then I took that down to Central Park and did my normal sort of half loop of the park, and then came back up. And because it was a longer run, by the time I got home, Winston was really ready to go out, so we did his walk first thing. Then I got back and fed him breakfast, and I made some coffee and got my breakfast ready. And then I decided, you know what, today's a good day to clean the apartment. It was like, it's just nice enough outside that I could have the windows open. Right now I have the AC going because I didn't want it to be too loud for the Stitch With Me video, but the outside noise, I mean. But it was nice this morning. Like there was a nice cooler breeze, and so I had the windows open, was just able to clean my whole apartment. And one really good thing about having a studio apartment is when it comes to cleaning, it doesn't take that long. So I can dedicate like 2 or 3 hours and really do a pretty deep clean of the apartment because I just don't have that much space, And so yeah, that's kind of one of the perks of having a smaller space. But I did that, got that done, and then I thought, you know what, I'm ready to sit down and stitch a little bit. And so originally I was going to wait to film this until Saturday, but I thought, you know what, I'm just going to bring everybody along with me now on this section. I thought it would be kind of fun to stitch the rest of her face and like get more into her hair while you're with me here. Because if I waited, I probably would be down in the yellows, and that might not be quite as exciting. So decided to, just bring you along for this little section. Okay, now I've got some new colors in here I've got to get. I think what we're doing right now with this color I'll say it once we're done, but I think I know what this color's for because we're pulling a green, and it's a pretty bright green. So you might be able to guess what it is we're going to be stitching here. I think there's only these 2 colors of green that are going to make this, really look like what it is. I'm still amazed by full coverage in that sense, how one little X of a color can sort of define or make it look like what it's supposed to be. It's just incredible what color can do and what your mind can see when there's just one stitch of a color, and yet it puts it all together and sees the actual image. I think that's really cool. So yeah, this morning on my run, it was a little warmer, it was a little humid, but like I said, there was a nice breeze that kind of helped. And yeah, I wasn't really running for time, or I wasn't, I'm not training for anything in particular, so I just was kind of able to run and enjoy it. And one section that I haven't run by in a while had really, really beautiful flowers. I might try to pop that into my next Flosstube video just to share it with you. But yeah, I had some really, really beautiful flowers, and so I stopped and took a little video because I thought it was so cool. was really pretty. It almost was like spring again, which is interesting because I thought all of the spring plants had stopped and we're not, showing the flowers anymore. There's a lot of flowers in my neighborhood, but they're not in bloom anymore. And then I got to this section and I was like, oh wow, there's tons of flowers here still. So that was kind of fun to stumble upon. And yeah, just a good run today. But yeah, I had another pretty good week of work. Things went well, and I think my boss is pretty happy with the work that I'm doing, and I'm happy with kind of learning all of this and getting experience in bookkeeping, and I really feel much more confident in being able to do someone's books now that I have gone through this process and on a much larger scale too, so have that experience. But it's been good, and it is still an adjustment. I keep saying this, I'm probably a broken record, but it is still an adjustment to kind of get used to the new schedule. I'm getting up much earlier in the morning, and just kind of finding a way to fit everything in, and that can be tough. And I think the hardest part is because I'm on the go all day, basically. I'm up pretty early to get my run in before work, and then, feed and walk Winston and do all the stuff before I go to work. And then, work is still a learning experience and mentally sort of exhausting. And then I get home in the evenings, and till I cook dinner and everything, it's like I'm not always in the mood to stitch, and that's been a new thing for me. So I've tried to still continue at least stitching for an hour in the evenings, but sometimes my brain is just tired, and I just need to chill and not be stitching, which is weird. So I don't know, we'll see how much I get done this week. 2,000 seems to be right around my estimate for the week of what I can get done, and we'll see if I'm able to do that this week. I'm just kind of feeling a little differently about the stitching or the time I have to stitch. Not complaining at all, it's just an adjustment. And we all go through these, so I know I'm not alone. So now that I put those couple stitches in of the green, do you have an idea of what it is? I think that's her other earring that we're seeing there. And probably when I pull it all back and look at it from a distance, you'll see her earring. But I think that's what this section is right there, because we have a little bit of the earring up here. So I think that's what we were stitching. But I think her earrings are green, and it's really just that one spot of green that gives you, or one X of green that really gives you the look of a green earring. And I bet when we pull it back, you'll see a green earring. And that's just pretty cool. Yeah, this section is a lot of ending threads because, like I said, we are finishing her face, and so those colors are not needed right beside it or even anywhere nearby. So there's a lot of finishing off the colors this time. which I don't mind finishing colors. It kind of means that we're getting into a new section, which is always fun. So I'll take it. It just means kind of slower stitching for a bit. So yeah, job's going well, and I'm just feeling really grateful to have found a job where, my boss is pretty understanding with like, oh, it's slow today, you can leave early, or, not micromanaging my every move, but is there to kind of support me. And the whole office is just so laid back. It's like, yeah, it's just nice to be in a sort of a chill space, and, we're not doing anything. We're not saving lives. We're not doing anything like revolutionary. And I think everybody just kind of knows that. So there's nothing really that urgent that happens. Nothing has to get done immediately. And that sort of flexibility and is just nice. It's not something I've had in a long time. So I really like that about the job. And I am enjoying what I'm doing. Like I do enjoy sort of sending out the invoices, seeing the payments come in, tracking everything, matching things up, kind of reconciling bank accounts. All of that is kind of fun to me. I enjoy working with numbers, and I really enjoy that whole process. So it's nice to kind of go to work and have things to do that I really enjoy. And it's funny because this is kind of the work that my parents do and have done most of their careers. So I feel like it's kind of fitting now that I'm also doing it and enjoying it, following their footsteps. I did also finally this week get my first paycheck that was actually for a full week of work and not just a partial week. So that was really nice. And yeah, I haven't spent anything yet to like celebrate, but just kind of been thinking about what I might want to buy to celebrate my first paycheck and celebrate the fact that I have a job again, because it is really, really nice to have that like stability and security, and especially after not having it for so long. So I do want to do something to sort of celebrate that and just kind of be proud of where I came with all the trainings that I did and the courses I took, and be proud of that and just sort of give me credit where credit is due. Not in a braggy kind of way, just in an acknowledgement of the hard work that I put in. So I'm trying to decide, should I place a stitchy order? Do I buy something I've wanted for a while? So stay tuned, we'll see. Or I might not buy anything stitchy related because I have so much already to stitch and that I want to stitch. When I was cleaning this morning, I was kind of going through my shelves a little bit and just looking at the patterns and kits I have, and every time I do that I think, yeah, these are all still things I want to stitch. So I need to I need to not purchase so much so I can get to those things I already have that I still want to stitch. There's just so many beautiful patterns and so many gorgeous things, and I tend to like the big projects, so they take a while. But let me tell you, it's definitely nice to have the weekend start a little early and have a 3-day weekend that I didn't even know I was going to get. So I'm enjoying that. I'm glad I got some of the chores out of the way today. Now I can just enjoy the rest of the weekend, even though I don't really have a lot of plans this weekend. So I might go for another run one of the mornings. And other than that, I might just kind of do a lot of stitching. We'll see what happens, but I should probably do some laundry at some point. I thought about doing it today, and then I thought, no, if I'm already cleaning and doing all that stuff, I don't need to add laundry to the list today. Kind of space it out a little bit. But I do need to do that probably throughout the weekend, and I do also need to go grocery shopping again. It's amazing how quickly the weeks go, and it's always grocery time again. Those things we do that are just sort of never-ending processes, like laundry and cleaning and groceries. You do it, and then you just got to do it again. But those things won't take me too long, and so then I should be able to just kind of do what I want this weekend. The following 2 weekends are going to be pretty busy for me because the weekend after is Pride weekend, and it's also 2 of my friends have birthdays that weekend. So yeah, there'll just be a lot of sort of celebrating, and I think there's going to be a brunch that weekend. And then the following weekend is July 4th, so that will be a busier weekend. I think there's another brunch that I'm going to that weekend, and maybe see the fireworks with some friends. So because I know I have sort of 2 busier weekends coming up, I want to just kind of take advantage of this weekend when I don't really have anything going on, and yeah, enjoy the time to stitch, so that because I might not get as much time the coming weekends. Today I don't have coffee, but I have a seltzer water. Especially after my long run and chatting on these videos. I definitely do get thirsty, and I need something there. So got my seltzer today. Last night, pretty late into the evening, I think it was maybe like, I want to say it was midnight or so, there were a lot of fireworks going on. I don't know where they were. It didn't sound like they were super close to my apartment, but somewhere nearby. I'm sure it was for the Knicks game or for the parade that had happened earlier. Oops, that just pulled right through. Look at that. But Winston was not a fan. He does not like fireworks. And so every time we would just about get settled in bed, then the fireworks would go, and he would get up out of bed and growl and bark at them, and then kind of disrupt him. So it took a little bit longer to fall asleep last night. And I can't blame him. I think he never really had a problem with fireworks until COVID. And I don't know if you remember in COVID, but at least here, sort of in the springtime, in like April or May, because everybody was in lockdown, it seemed like every night people were setting off fireworks, and literally like just on the street in New York, and some of them were right outside my apartment at the time, and so through the windows we could see the fireworks sort of happening right there, right outside the window. They were like exploding. And I think that's when Winston really became afraid of them, or didn't really like them. So I can't blame him for not really liking them now either, but they definitely disturb him when he hears them. So you'll have to let me know in the comments if you had the day off today. If you're retired, of course you did have it off. But if you're working, let me know if you had the day off, and if so, how did you start off your 3-day weekend? Or even if you didn't have it off, what do you normally do to celebrate sort of a 3-day weekend, or how do you like to begin your extra day? What do you like to do? I'm the type of person who definitely likes to get sort of my chores or errands that I need to run out of the way, so that I can then actually enjoy the rest of the weekend. So I think that's why I did my long run today and did the cleaning today, so that hopefully, tomorrow I can just maybe do laundry and then just enjoy the weekend. I don't have to worry about these chores. That's kind of how I've always been, just kind of doing the necessary, not so fun things first, so that then I can just enjoy what's left. Her hair's looking really good, I think. It's fun to kind of, you think, when you look at the picture, you think, oh, she just has black hair on that side and white hair on the other side. And yet there's so many different colors in the black and white to make the shading and to make it look the way it does. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. I definitely would not have expected there to be some, in through here, there's some dark blue stitches. And right now I'm stitching with a brown color. And, that doesn't seem quite right. But then when you put it all together and it's next to all the other colors, it kind of looks, it just adds a little shading and dimension by having these different kind of hues. And you don't even realize that there's dark blue and brown in there. You just see sort of black hair. That makes me really excited to get to the rest of this piece, to see how, how the detail shows up on the rest of the piece, and just kind of what fun combination of colors I'll be stitching to see the effect. I still have not been using my Park Avenue needle minder. Well, at least when I'm stitching with you. I have used it a couple of times when I've been stitching sort of on my own, and as soon as I think I have the method down, then everything gets tangled and messed up again. So I'm still working through seeing how I can use that. But the method I'm using now is to basically just let these threads with needles on them kind of dangle down at the bottom of the project, and it's amazing how you can kind of work out the twists. You can kind of make it work, kind of pull it loose. So that's just what I've been doing. Monday will be a work from home day for me as well, so I'll get to be home for like 4 days, which is nice. And sometimes, throughout the weekend, I'll just check the work email real quick and see if there's anything I can get done quickly if I have a minute or I'm at my computer, and then that just sort of makes what I have to do on Monday less. And so I just kind of, whatever time I have available, I just sort of check in. I'm not like working on the weekend by any means, but if I can get something small done that means I don't have to do it later in the week, then I just do it if I have a couple minutes. So I kind of like being able to, again, it's all about just sort of working when it's kind of convenient for me in my schedule. That's what I'd ultimately like to be able to do. Still obviously get all the work done, but just be able to kind of dictate my schedule a little bit more, where it's not like I'm glued to the office. Which I don't feel like with this job I have been glued to the office at all. Don't take me wrong. I'm very happy with this sort of 3 days in the office and 2 days remote. It really makes the week go by so quickly, and definitely gives me the flexibility on those work from home days. And so far in the office, I think I said this before too, but so far it has been busy enough while I'm in there that it's not like I'm just going in to sit around, and that makes all the difference for me. It's like if I have to go into the office just to sit there and twiddle my thumbs, but like be present in the office, that's what really gets to me, because I keep thinking of all the other things I could be doing with my time that makes more sense, or that that I want to be doing. So hopefully I can stay busy while I'm in the office. And I took all but one of the winners from the giveaway on my last episode, my last video. For 8,000 subscribers, I was able to get those all to the mail and get those sent out. So that felt good, to be passing on some stitchy kindness to people. And to actually, get them in the mail, because it does take some time to package them all up and then make sure you have everything going to the right place. Felt like a little store, a little factory I was doing. So I've never done that many giveaways before on the channel, but yeah, it's nice to have everybody sort of celebrate with me that we are at this big milestone that I never thought I would be at. Never ever did I think that. I think I just stitched that in the wrong color, actually. Definitely did, but I'm trying to figure out now where this color actually belongs. So give me a minute here. Oh no, I was correct. Okay, so I just took that stitch out for nothing. I thought I was a row further down than I was, and yeah, I was on the wrong row on markup. So that was actually parked in the right place and that stitch was correct. So I'll just do it again. But whenever that happens, I try to at least like just stop and get my bearings before I move forward, because I don't want to keep going if there is a mistake and if I have to pull some stuff out, or I want to see like, is it something that isn't that crucial and I can kind of fudge a little bit. But it's always important to like stop and take that time to really like assess where you are, for me at least. Today, after I finish this video with you, I plan to try to get my next walking video up. So if you've been looking for those, we are going to have the next walk up hopefully by this weekend. I'm hoping to get that edited and uploaded to maybe post tomorrow morning or later today or something. But those are my plans for the day today. Editing and uploading some videos, which honestly I enjoy, so it's fun. Sorry if I keep bumping this stand too much. It's hard to keep it even without bumping it and shaking it. I forget if I had mentioned, but I had another follow-up dentist appointment this week. Yesterday, actually. When I went for my cleaning, they noticed that one of the fillings I had a chip in it, so they needed to redo the filling. So I had to go back yesterday to get that done. An 8 a.m. dentist appointment. Now that is early to be at the dentist. So I did not run that morning for sure, but it was good. And since they are the ones that did the filling at my dentist, they did not charge me to repair the crack, which was nice. So, but of course, they had to numb my mouth again and to redo the filling. So then the rest of the day, half my mouth was numb, and I was feeling, it just feels so weird, right? Even when you eat. They told me I could eat right away, which I was happy for because it was so early in the morning I didn't have breakfast beforehand. So I wanted to I actually stopped at the bagel place I had told you about the last video. And this time I got a bacon cheddar cheese cream cheese. I was in the mood for a savory cream cheese, but it was delicious. I had just a plain sesame bagel with that cream cheese, and it was so good. But I will say I wasn't enjoying it as much as I probably would have other times, because half my mouth was numb, and it's so weird eating a bagel when your mouth is numb. But hopefully everything went well with the redoing of the filling. I think it did. And now today everything feels pretty normal again, so I would say it was a success. I had said in my Patreon channel yesterday morning that I was grateful to be going to the dentist. And I said that's not something you would normally think of as being grateful for, but I said I'm just happy to have a job that has dental insurance now and that I can go to the dentist. I don't have to worry about, insurance things. So that is definitely something to be grateful for. And really, I think those types of things, it's all in how you look at it, right? I mean, nobody really enjoys going to the dentist, but if we can find ways to be grateful for, that we do get the opportunity to go to the dentist when not everyone can, that is something to have gratitude for and to be positive about. And I also look at the dentist, even though I don't like going to the dentist. I don't necessarily enjoy it, but I do look at it as a form of self-care. I'm taking care of myself, and that's a good thing. That feels nice. So I think it's important to remember those moments of self-care, even if it's something that we don't necessarily enjoy or necessarily want to be doing. It can still be a form of self-care for ourselves. I can't really tell, but her hair must keep going down this way further, because I thought we were going to get to the end of it here, but we're definitely not. It seems to be continuing on into the next diagonal. A lot of these threads are being used and then parked in the next diagonal. Now here again, I'm going to break my rule a little bit, because you'll see I'm doing this stitch right here, even though there's an open spot right above it. But that's sort of the last stitch of this color in this area. So I figure I'm going to do it now while I've already got the color on my needle, while I'm already kind of just going. And that's where you can be flexible with the diagonal stitching. You can kind of make it work however you want, and you're in charge. You make the rules. And you also decide if you want to follow them or not. I think as long as you are enjoying it, then that's a good thing. But I just realized those extra stitches I did, I put them all in the wrong place. So I gotta move those over. So it was these ones that I put in the wrong place. Help if I take my needle off first before I try to frog. Does that sound like ribbit to all of you? That I'm frogging? The sound on the microphone? Isn't that what we all say? It sounds like ribbit, ribbit. That's why we call it frogging. I don't know if that really sounded like ribbits, but I was definitely frogging. Now I can get this in the right space. It's funny because this section has been a lot of color changes, but it's also a lot of color changes that I don't have the thread already on the needle on these cards. So I'm having to thread a lot of the needles too, which takes a little longer. But all part of the process. Wow, I think we're already almost at an hour. We're at like 50 minutes. Time just goes by so fast when I'm stitching with you. That's all I can say. Stitching with friends and the time always flies by. Winston is napping hard down there. I think he's dreaming a little bit because I can feel him sort of twitching in his dreams. I don't know what he's doing in his dream, chasing a bird probably. must be in a really deep sleep too, because he didn't hear the door in the hallway. And that's usually what gets him going. Like, he had a hard morning too. He had to be displaced from his normal routine while I was cleaning, so I'm sure that was a little stressful for him. All right, my first one where it was already on a needle. That's kind of nice after I just said it. Well, I would say now that we finished that row, it looks like we are definitely done with her face. It looks like her chin ends right about there. So that's exciting that she's fully in, and I think she looks good. It was fun today because it was such a nice morning. When I was cleaning, I could see a bunch of my neighbors out on their back patios, working outside, doing a lot of stuff. So some of them must have also had the day off, but they were planting flowers and they were watering things and they were cleaning their decks. So it's a good day to be getting all that work done outside. Winston is awake. He heard the sounds in the hallway. Maybe I'll try to finish this row here and then call it, since it's been over an hour already. And when I film for this long, the video files get really, really big, so I have to try to figure out the best way to then transfer them onto my computer, and the editing files get larger, so I think an hour is kind of the sweet spot to manage it all. Okay, we've got 2 more stitches in this row. I think they are both new colors, so we'll do those real quick, and then I think I'll call it a good stitchy session. We'll see how many stitches I got in. Probably not very many because this was very confetti heavy. I do think one thing I'm going to order is another pack of those cheaper needles that I like that are on Etsy. They're like a 100 pack, and because I'm putting a needle with each color on here, that's about 160 needles. So the ones I have are dwindling, so I need to replenish my needle stash for full coverage. I have other needles, but I just like these for full coverage for some reason. And because they're cheaper needles, I don't really mind if they bend or if they break or whatever. I don't mind them dangling around so much. But I do need to order more so I can keep going. Okay, so I just finished that row. So we finished the earring, we finished the bottom of her jaw right here, her face, we worked a little bit in her hair, and now we're getting into sort of where the coat kind of comes up underneath her neck as well. Let's see how many stitches I got in for the day today. That was 65 stitches. Not too bad for a very busy area, but I think she's looking great and I'm really excited about it. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this little session, and I'll try to work on this a little bit more so you can see a little more progress on my next Flosstube. But I'll keep stitching and we'll keep guessing what's coming next. So have a wonderful weekend, and I will talk to you soon. Oh, let me show you Winston just sleeping, in case you're wondering. That's where he's been the entire time. Just sleeping away. But, yeah, so have a wonderful weekend, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.